This is a forgotten chapter of history, the story of Jewish persecution in Christian Europe. A story of conflict, endurance, and the clash of faiths that shaped our world.
The long history of Jewish suffering in Europe began with the rise of a new faith that spoke of love and salvation, yet quickly defined itself by exclusion. Driven by zeal to convert pagan societies, early Christian leaders sought to separate their beliefs from older traditions, placing Jews outside the new spiritual order. This separation became law in the 5th century, when Emperor Theodosius II condemned Judaism and formally marked Jews as inferior under Christian rule. Persecution spread rapidly. In Frankish lands, Jews were expelled. In Visigothic Spain, children were taken from their families and forcibly converted. In the Byzantine Empire, Jewish worship was outlawed entirely, erasing centuries of religious life with imperial decree. With the Christian Crusades, discrimination turned into mass violence. Under the cry, Deus Vult, crusaders slaughtered Jewish communities along their march to Jerusalem. Across Europe, Jews were barred from owning land and expelled from trade guilds, cutting them off from livelihoods and stability. Church laws deepened isolation, forbidding Jews to employ Christians and banning Christians from living among Jewish communities. In 1215, humiliation became policy. Jews were ordered to wear visible badges, symbols marking them as a race apart. In England, the badge resembled Moses' tablets. In France and Germany, it appeared as a yellow circle, a grim symbol that would return centuries later. Kings enforced exile. Edward I expelled Jews from England. Philip the Fair expelled them from France, seizing their property before banishment. During the Black Death, Jews were accused of poisoning wells, unleashing massacres that destroyed more than 200 communities. Amid this darkness, Muslim-ruled Spain stood apart, where Jews flourished under the caliphs in learning, trade, and culture. That refuge ended in 1492, when Ferdinand and Isabella expelled Jews from Spain during the Christian Reconquista. In Germany, Jews were barred from carriages and taxed at city gates. In Venice, they were confined to a district called the Ghetto. In Poland, Cossack uprisings unleashed unprecedented brutality, wiping out thousands of Jews within a single decade. Under the Russian Tsars, nearly half the world's Jews were confined to the Pale of Settlement, the largest ghetto in history. Children were conscripted into decades of military service, religious life was taxed, and women were humiliated by degrading restrictions. In 1880, pogroms swept through Jewish towns, often aided by soldiers burning homes and slaughtering families. These centuries of violence formed a tragic pattern, culminating in the gas chambers of Nazi Germany, the most horrific chapter of a long history. Yet history records a contrast. Under Muslim rule, Jews often found protections rather than persecution. Caliph Umar safeguarded their presence. Saladin restored them to Jerusalem. Under the Ottomans, Jews began a cautious return to the Promised Land.
Peace be upon you. The gates of Jerusalem are open.
Shalom, we return peace.